Hi there, I'm Chris Drake. I'm Senior Vice President at iconectiv. Here to talk to you about the new FCC order that has come out on protecting from account takeover, which basically means SIM swaps and falsified port outs to new carriers. This is critically important because the phone number has become the most common form of digital identity that consumers use in their life, whether accessing bank accounts or healthcare or shopping. The phone number is how they're often authenticated or identify themselves. And the FCC has recognized over the years a significant amount of attacks to take over telephone number accounts, telco accounts for consumers in order to break into their bank accounts, their cryptocurrency accounts and whatnot. So these new rules are, I personally think they're very well thought. Uh, Considering they need to continue to balance the ability to port away from the carrier for competitive choice, but also put up some friction so that it's not so easy for a fraudster to do this to you and then proceed to take over your ancillary accounts at banks, cryptocurrency traders, etc. So they basically have said um, that the carriers, the wireless carriers, and any resellers, so also MVNOs or voice over IP providers providing a quad play with mobile phones as well, they must take steps to authenticate customers before redirecting their phone number to a new device or a new provider, right? And they must notify customers, the consumer, the subscriber, whenever a SIM change or port out request is made. Okay, so that's new, that you'd be notified if someone's trying to port your phone, and if it's not you, you're going to be anxious and take action. And also they're mandating that these providers take additional steps to protect their customers from SIM swap. That includes things like employee training for customer care and preventing access to CP&I, in other words, your private information held by the telco until you're authenticated. Now, this was well thought because they read a study done by Princeton University in 2020 that said you didn't have to social engineer your call to customer care to take over an account. You could just make a call to that victim, and then when you're asked what was the last call on this phone, you would give your number you used, so you could hack that. And so they then said in the rules, customer care cannot see your CP&I, therefore they would never be able to ask you what was your last call, and you could not use that hack to get past the security challenge. Okay, I think very well thought in that case. And also they must have processes put in place to respond to failed authentication, because what would happen was a fraudster, if they had a very diligent, well-trained customer care associate, they would hang up and call again and see who they got the next time. And they would continue until they got a very amenable, helpful customer care agent who would port the phone. And this was proven time and time again to be the methodology of fraudsters. So now the wireless provider has to launch a ticket and investigate failed attempts. And they'll be doubly on guard if someone calls customer care and just tries to find a more friendly agent to trick. And various other things, pins to be required before you can port, and Verizon has a port out pin. T-Mobile has temporary port out pins. Verizon has a number lock where you can proactively stop your account from being locked. This all falls into the spirit of the FCC rules that say, we won't tell you exactly what to do because the threat's always evolving, but we want you to take very deliberate steps and always be innovating to keep up with the fraudster. So you'll see these carriers coming up with new things for our protection, and please, I encourage everyone to take advantage of them. If you want any more information about the SIM swap problem, possible solutions, the FCC rules to mitigate the threat, feel free to reach out to iconectiv on iconectiv.com, use the Contact Us button. Many of those inquiries may come to myself personally, but somebody will be sure to get back to you about that. Thank you for your interest, and be safe.